Season 9 was a good season of Rocket League for me. I got to the elusive Grand Champ, and even though people are comparing Season 9 Grand Champ to Season 3, that's the season that Neat Mike got Grand Champ, you know, I still feel pretty proud because I know it was really hard for me. Maybe it wasn't hard for you, but it was really hard for me, and I was really happy to get it. And for the entirety of Season 9, I basically just played doubles. So for this season, I decided it was time to hang up my doubles cleats and take on the wonderful world of 3v3 Rocket League by playing 100 solo standard games in a row. Sadly, once you get to about Champ 1 or 2, it begins to take an hour or more just to get one game. So, you know, I got to the point where I literally couldn't get a solo standard game at all anymore. Like, I don't think there's more than like 100 people Champ 2 or above in the entire, you know, area, or maybe even in the entire world playing solo standard. So this video is everything I learned from playing 70 games of solo standard, not 100, because I literally couldn't get any more games. But before I jump into the tips, I wanted to let you know that I've partnered with a company called MANSCAPED for this video. If you haven't heard of MANSCAPED, basically they specialize in below the waist grooming. So they sent me a bunch of amazing stuff, including a straight edge razor, which I'd always wanted to have a straight edge razor, and it's legit. It's called the Plow, and also a pair of incredible, and I mean incredible, clippers called the Lawnmower 2.0. Now, because they are specifically for the sensitive areas, this stuff is the best quality that you can get, and obviously it can be used for more than, you know, just the bits and pieces.
Especially my bits and pieces.
Currently, you can get 20% off if you use the coupon code FLuuMP at checkout. And seriously, their products are amazing. There's a bunch of different stuff. Give them a try, see what you think. It's legit. All right, let's jump right into what I've learned from playing 70 solo standard games. The first thing you need to understand is rotations. Now, I know people always talk about the importance of rotations, but I feel like a lot of people who I talk to when I'm doing coaching sessions, they really don't have a great foundation for what rotations look like. And you know, there's a bunch of videos out there on basic rotation. This idea of having like a 1, 2, and 3 player all fulfilling their roles on the field. But here are a few concepts that I consciously was trying to work on for these 70 games, and it really did make a big difference. The first thing is that you need to understand that rotations should be big and wide. They should feel big as you're doing them.
That's what she said.
This is part of how you communicate to your teammates that you're getting out of the play and that they can go ahead and dive in and attack. Now, people think that taking, you know, a shorter, quicker rotation more directly sort of at their teammates to get back in the play, they think that that is going to make them faster in some way, but it actually creates a lot less pressure. When you're really spread out and, you know, you give your teammates lots of space, you can create way more pressure and defend easier with less double commits. Now, when teammates rotate more directly back at you, it's really confusing for you as a player because you don't know whether they're going to jump back into the play or if they're going to get behind you, and sometimes they do neither and they literally just run directly into you. So you want to get out of your teammates' paths when you're rotating, and I feel like this is something I really got better at through these 70 games. Solo standard is obviously solo, so you have to learn how to communicate with your car while you're playing. Now, one way to accomplish these wide rotations is to rotate to the far post as often as you can. Now, here's what I mean. When the ball is on a certain side of the field, the post that is closest to the ball, or the post that's on the same side as the ball, is the near post, whereas when the play is on one side and the post that is opposite of that play, that post is the far post. So if you're defending in goal and someone is coming, you know, from your left post and they hit it over your head behind you, that's a far post shot. So you want to, when you're rotating, as much as possible, rotate to the far post. So, you know, you go in for a shot and you're on the right side of the field and you know, challenge and the ball goes somewhere, maybe you miss, maybe you hit it, whatever. If you're going to rotate back, you want to whip all the way around to the other side of the field behind your teammates and have this big, wide rotation. So this is something, you know, I'd heard people say, but until you go back and really watch your replays, it's easy to miss that a lot of times we just rotate directly back at our teammates. But if you watch the pros play, they really don't do this very often. And if they do rotate near post or towards their teammates, they do that in a way like that they get out of their teammates' way as much as possible. So they, you know, will go up on the walls sometimes even to really make it clear that they're not in the play at all. The second thing that I found is that you have to trust your team. No matter who it is, no matter how bad they are, no matter how bad you are, no matter what rank you're at, you cannot get forward and Rocket League solo queuing unless you trust your teammates and actually begin to default to believing in them and believing that they'll be able to handle stuff while you're out of the play. Because if you're always trying to be in the play and you just don't trust them, you really won't rank up or get any better. So I finally started to stay upfield for passes and really start trusting my teammates, trusting that they could get the ball to me. And solo standard can be frustrating when you expect one thing from your teammate and something else happens. Obviously that happens sometimes, but overall it's definitely more fun if you approach it like any other game mode where you trust your teammates who are on the field with you. And I feel like there's a stigma attached to solo standard that I just don't think is true. Everyone thinks it's just so terrible, and obviously at some ranks it can be terrible, but in some ways it's really the place where the more hardcore Rocket League players are. At least that's been my experience, and especially once I got into like Champ 1 and Champ 2. So number 3 is something that I started trying to apply after I did an interview with Team Echo Zulu, and after their performance at DreamHack Leipzig, they explained to me how they were able to do so well against RLCS teams, and it was really that they just play patient, and that they really let the other team come to them and just take their time and just continue to fend off their attacks, and then when the time comes to counter and to attack, they attack really hard. So I love this idea of sort of waiting your opponents out and just focusing on rotating and playing solid defense, and when the opportunity arises, you just pounce really hard. And this is, I think, the main advantage that Dignitas has had over other teams in the past. It's really their patience. They just play calm, they wait and wait and wait, and they don't mind when 3 or 4 minutes go by with no scoring. And then when the opportunity comes up, they just execute so well. They sort of wait out their opponents and kind of wear them down by just being so solid. Now, it takes a lot of patience just rotating, continuously getting solid hits and solid clears, and it's really the boring part of Rocket League, but it's so essential for solo standard. And solo standard is really a great place to work on this just sort of patient gameplay. Okay, the last thing I want to look at is the idea of playing selflessly. Now, when I first set out to play 100 solo standard games, this was my goal. I really wanted to focus on setting up nice passes and really just winning games, like playing to win, which I know sounds crazy, but there's so many times when I play Rocket League where I'm trying to win, but I'm really just playing selfishly and trying to do stupid things. So I played most of these games just trying to win, trying to find that team chemistry with 2 other random people, and sometimes it didn't work. Sometimes I ended up getting too flashy or selfish, but the games we won were mainly the games where I stepped back, really let my teammates shine. Now think about how it feels when a teammate you're playing with just goes out of their way to set up a great pass to you. Like they just see you downfield and they really try to get the ball to you. That's the kind of teammate that you need to be. It's kind of like real life. If you want to be a good friend and have people enjoy being around you, you can't be a me monster.
Nee, 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 nee.
I really think a lot of Rocket League players are this way. They're just total me monsters, and they think everything centers around them, and then they sit and whine about how bad their teammates are, and they don't even realize that they're the bad teammate. Now, I'm not saying this is everybody, but this is true of a lot of people, I think. So really learn to play selflessly, and listen, you could be like, oh, but my teammates, well, if something bad happens and your teammates screw something up and you whine about it, that just shows your attitude. Somebody who's selfless, who isn't really concerned with, everybody else doing things wrong, but is concerned with their own actions, doesn't whine about somebody else making a mistake. This is so important. Like, if you want to improve at Rocket League, you have to change your mentality. You have to learn to play in a way that is team-oriented. Now, I'm speaking to myself definitely because this is something that I think I've struggled with quite a bit. It's not that I whine about my teammates a lot or get really frustrated at them. I just play in such a way that I feel like I'm the center of all the goals that are going to be scored and all the points that are had and everything good that's going to happen. And that's just like the worst way to play Rocket League. When you focus on your teammate and trying to help them play well and shine, you'll do so much better. All right, guys, remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I don't say this enough, but seriously, thank you guys so much for watching my videos. I don't even remember the last time I said this. How could I forget this? But seriously, it's amazing that you guys watch my videos and that you show so much love and you give my videos likes and support me. I really can't believe just how amazing this community is, both the Rocket League community and the specific community of people who watch my videos. If you do want to stay more connected with me, make sure to check out my Twitter. I'll put a link in the description and you can follow me on there. I post just random stuff on there as well. But yeah, much love, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace out.